A daily dose of practical wit and wisdom with a professional educator and trainer, Amazon best-selling author, United States Marine, television and radio host, Paul G. Markel. Each episode will focus on positive and productive ways to strengthen your mindset and help you improve your relationships, career goals, and overall well-being. Please welcome your host, Paul G. Markel.
Welcome back to Morning Mindset. I'm your host, Paul Markel, and get ready for your daily dose of positivity. Yes, we're going to be productive today. We're going to use our mindset in a positive and productive manner. And today we're going to talk about a subject that is near and dear to my heart because I have both had these people in my life and I have been one of these people. And I'm going to talk about coaches and mentors. Now, returning back to something we discussed previously, the current situation in our culture, the no-score soccer, and everyone gets a trophy. And when everybody gets a trophy, and when we don't keep score, what we've done is we've actually ruined the ability or ruined the thought process in our young people that makes them or that gives them the desire to seek out coaches and mentors. Think about it. If your entire life you've been told by your mommy and daddy and your teachers and all the adults that you've encountered that it's okay, doesn't matter that you didn't really put forth effort, that you didn't run fast, that you didn't score, that you didn't try, but you were there. You showed up and you arrived and you took in, you sucked up some good oxygen. So you get a trophy, you get a ribbon. And when you're more emphasis is put on your feelings than on results, why should you seek out a coach? And do young people today even understand the concept of a mentor? I don't know. Think about it for a second. A coach is someone who tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Think about that. Coaches, when you show up, a coach doesn't say, "Oh man, you're great. You're the best as ever. Just keep doing what you do. I don't have any critiques for you at all." Now, you may be a person who is naturally gifted, but are you perfect? I'm guessing probably not. A good coach, even when they find someone who's naturally gifted, will bring out even more. And that's what a coach does. A coach sees you, he sees your current abilities, he sees what you can do, what you can't do, and what they do is they reach down and they help you get more out of yourself than you thought that you had in you. That's what a good coach does. But if you already think you're perfect, if you already arrive at the game believing that the only thing matters is how you feel and whether or not someone hurts your feelings, and you're going to get a trophy or a ribbon anyway because you already showed up, then why do you need to listen to a coach? Why do you need to take the advice of a coach when you already feel really good about yourself? So when we explore that, and I've been a coach. I've been for a lot of years. I've coached adults. I've coached young people. And it's a very, very gratifying experience to be a coach. I've been extremely fortunate in my life to have a lot of really top quality coaches, instructors, mentors in my life. Now, let's talk about mentors for a second. Everybody, if you say the word coach, most people understand. Or if you say instructor or teacher, most people understand. But what about genuine mentors? Now, a mentor and a coach, they can be the same. Those guys can be the same people, or gals can be the same people. But they're not necessarily the same people. For instance, I have a few individuals in my life that I consider to be my mentors. Now, I wouldn't really refer to them as my coaches or my teachers, but they're my mentors because they have achieved greatness in the same field that I am involved in. Whatever it is you happen to be doing in your life, whatever you happen to be, interested in, whether it's the martial arts or whether it's business or whether, you name it, there should be people in your field of endeavor, in your field of interest that you look up to. People, and you don't just look up to them. Now, the difference between a mentor and an idol You can have idols. Let's say you're a young entrepreneur and you're in business and you look up to Tony Robbins, just to pull a name out of a hat, as your business idol. You're like, man, I really wish I could be like Tony Robbins one day. But is Tony Robbins actually your mentor? Probably not, because a mentor is somebody that you can actually learn from and communicate with. Now, you may be able to go to a Tony Robbins seminar and you may be able to ask Tony Robbins specific questions and you may be fortunate enough to get answers, but most of the time you don't. A lot of idols or people that you look up to are not really mentors. I've had several mentors in my life, and these were people who not only could I communicate with, ask them questions, but they would ask questions back to me. Yeah, you're like, well, a mentor is like your idol. They're like the person that you seek to be like. But a mentor, like a coach, is somebody who seeks to get more out of you than you even know is there. And it's not necessarily a formal relationship. Sometimes mentors, there are a lot of people now who I looked up to when I was younger. I met them. We had developed a mentor relationship, and now we're actually friends. But a mentor is someone who will ask you. I'll give you a great example. When I wrote my very first book, back in 1997. And I sent a copy of it to my mentor. And before I did that, I actually got on the phone with him, and his name was Jack McGeorge. And I told him what I was doing. I said, I'm writing this book about executive protection. This is what it's called, and so forth. And Jack said to me, he goes, why should anyone read your book? And I was like, wow, that's kind of a hard thing to say, But he was being serious. He wanted me to think about it. And he said, why should anyone read your book? And so I stepped back for a second and I said, well, because. And I gave him the reasons that, I thought. And he said, okay, that sounds good. Send me the book. And I sent it to him, and he wrote the foreword to it, or he wrote a review of it, a jacket review of the book. And that's what a mentor does. A mentor doesn't just agree with you because it would make you feel good. A legitimate, genuine mentor is not somebody that's just going to say, oh, that's a great idea, even though they don't think it is. A mentor, a successful mentor, is going to be somebody that when you do something dumb or you do something that doesn't make any sense, is going to call you on it, like a coach. How many of you guys played football? Playing football in junior high and high school can be a very beneficial, not just from a physical standpoint, from a psychological standpoint, a very beneficial activity, because just because you go out there and run around doesn't mean you ran around in the right way. And if let's say you are a running back or what have you, if you're supposed to run downfield and catch the ball, and the quarterback tells you to run X pattern and you run Y pattern and go the wrong way, the coach isn't going to say, oh, that was a great job, just try a little harder next time. They're going to point out your mistake to you and let you know that in the future you need to correct yourself. A coach doesn't say, hey, good job running down the field when you ran the wrong way and didn't catch the ball. Unfortunately, a lot of people today expect that they can run down the field, not catch the ball, and the coach is going to tell them, great job, you're wonderful. You're not. You don't learn anything from that experience. Some of my mentors, the people that I respect the most as my mentors, are people that challenged me. People that didn't just accept what I told them as a great idea. They weren't my cheerleaders. Your mentors are not supposed to be your cheerleaders. Now, they can be. Sometimes a mentor can build you up, lift you up and say, you know what? I never thought about that before. What you did, what you said, what you wrote, or what have you, made me think. And I appreciate that. And there's not much higher praise that you can get in life than to have someone that you look up to and respect because they're honest, not just because they're kissing your butt. There's a lot of people in the world that'll kiss your butt because they think you can give them something. But when you have a mentor or a coach who legitimately gives you praise, that's worth a lot. And it's hard to come by. And that's why seeking out coaches and mentors is so important for your professional and personal development. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is your goal. That's my goal that I'm going to give you today. That is your assignment. Wherever you are in your career or your personal endeavors, I want you, if you haven't done it already, I want you to seek out legitimate coaches and mentors. And remember, a coach or a mentor, these aren't people that are just going to tell you that you're wonderful because they want to spare your feelings. A coach or a mentor is somebody who's not going to tell you what you want to hear, but they're going to tell you what you need to hear. All right, kids, that's it for Morning Mindset today. I truly appreciate you stopping by to share some time with me. Please do us a favor and leave us a review on iTunes or whatever podcast application you happen to be listening on right now. And if you know anyone in your life that you think could benefit from Morning Mindset, please feel free to share this, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you for spending time with us today. To get show notes, submit a topic request, and for more from your host, Paul G. Markel, visit morningmindsetpodcast.com. That's morningmindsetpodcast.com. Please leave a review for this podcast on your favorite podcast player. We appreciate your time and effort, and we look forward to reading your honest feedback.